defendant in a Jamaican court. Yes, I did chop him, sir. I chop him. I was full of the vexation of spirit, sir. I was beyond all how I know me, sir. Over the other side cut off from all me goodness. And I couldn't steady me hand firm, sir. I chop him shoulder. I let me district man blow the stream down. Him did storm up me bad waters that I couldn't settle. That flood me, sir. That make one quick, terrible shut eye when all me badness did rule. Well, this poem is about a relative who never managed, a male who never seemed to manage to rise to any occasion that he fulfilled himself. And it is based on the way he talked and how he summed up his life. Words of a Jamaican last moment then. When I dead, make rain fall, make the air wash, make the land wash good, make dry course them run and run. Has last breath gone? Make rain burst, hilltop them work waterfall, and all the gully them gargle fresh. Make breadfruit limb them drip, mango limb them drip, cow, hog, fowl stand still in the burst of clouds. Ponciana bloom them soak off, clean, grass go underwater. Instant I gone, make all the island wash away the mess of my shortcomings, all the broke up things I did start. Me doings did fall short, too much, me ways did hurt me wife, too often. Early days thinking is only so much. I didn't think I shouldn't be hungry. I didn't think of government. I didn't blame my father's husbandry. Everything was just as it was. I didn't think a belly full of nothing was nothing. I didn't think I didn't deserve nothing. When there was food, there was everything, and there was a lot I knew. I knew we should bow to the well-rounded people, bow to the best educated people, bow to the whitest faces, go to school, breakfast or not, and that was just how it was, and that would have to be right. Our everyday business was have-nots business, and we worked and joked and played games and laughed often as we could. And fruit season or famine, or flood time or dry time, everything was just as it was. And I didn't think that anything was wrong or anything was right, that education and know-how should be a mystery like witchcraft. It was just as it was, and everything would have to be right. Everything would have to be right. Before I read To Travel This Ship, I'll just say a little bit about our kind of colonial history as I experienced it as a child growing up. It so happened that I was one of those kids at schools that they always called bright. and I particularly enjoyed being with the other children who, always get the sums right and to write essays well and so on. We're all buddies. And behind it all was a terror that while these mates of mine, as we got older, their parents were preparing to send them off to university and all the rest of it. And my parents were doing nothing, particularly my father. And so these were all the sort of sad feelings and frustrations that were very strong in me in my time at school. Windrush was particularly important because how old was I then? I was in my early 20s, and most of my friends, and as we all left school and one or two managed to move on to university and so on, and there were those of us who were left, and we were full of anxiety and worry that our education was going to stop, and our parents were not in any position to give us further education. And so these were the kind of anxieties with me and those friends who were like that. And the idea of the ship arriving, taking workers abroad, was quite a happy moment for me and my friends who were similar. And I suppose roughly that's the background behind it. And so this poem, To Travel This Ship. To travel this ship. To travel this ship, man, I gladly strip me name of a 1 cow, 2 goat, and a Boer pig, and sell the land piece my father left to be on this ship and to be a debtor. Man, just for different days, I would a sell, borrow or thief, just for different sunrise and sundown in another place with other ways. To travel this ship, man, I would a hurt, I would a cheat or lie. I strip me yard, me friend and cousin them get this ya ship ride. Man, I would a sell me mother, just hoping to buy her back. Down in that hole I was, I see this little lock, man, I see this little lock. Man, Jamaica is a place where generations them start out, having nothing, earning nothing, and dead, leaving nothing. I did wake up every morning and find nothing change. Children them shame to go to school barefoot, only a penny to buy lunch. Man, I follow this little light for change. I follow it, man. Yes, it's a sort of a village voice kind of character. England voice. I prepare, and prepare well for England. Me decide and don't leave behind all the voice of a slave estate bushman. None of that district bad talk in England. That bush talk of old estate slave man. Hear me speak in England, and see you don't think I a England native. Me nah go say, boy, how you do? Me I go say, how are you, old man? Me nah go say, what you yam last night? Me I go say, what did you have for supper? Patois talk is bushman talk. People who talk patois them damn lazy. Because me bush voice so settle in me and might let me down in a England. Me a practice talk like teacher till me England voice come out a me like water from hillside rock. Even if you fellows here don't hear me England voice, I have it and hear it in me head. In the land and sea culture crossed. In the land and sea culture crossed, we call to the hearts of difference. Restless, we widen our boundaries. Expansion may be for self-loving, yet our world is smaller and closer, and in gesturing we touch different other. A voice in me says, completeness comes from a balance of allness. All faces and conditions you not only inherit, but with them must find agreement and oneness. A voice in me says, who is not a beginner seeking balance? Who does not want to be heights and depths of music, harmonious with all difference? A voice in me says, we will change wildness to love, into rejuvenation. There is madness in self-love. We will change it to sanity. We will release change in each other. As the ground catches the rotten fruit for its center to grow again, and as only our negative selves are hurt by cleansing for the expansion of self-essence, oh, let us more and more know. Let us strive for a coming together of allness in the self, as at peace with our center, inhabiting all faces, inhabiting the core of all centers, being at home with allness. We strive to become habitation of allness. New space. I lived where the day's light was a clean and open transparency, so clear I should see into level distances, and from hilltops know every fluttering wing, every leaf down to the sprawling sea. I should know every sky glow, and be dreaming in the white sheeting of moonlight, moonlight's wide sheeting. I should be well washed by clean green spaces and the goggle of clear and stony streams, invisible on shared bird-throated land. I should sway and echo with the ancient sea's voice and its depths, pregnant with life more varied than the air holds, longing to stand on the feet of a passing day and be carried where all new time is stored. Windrush. I'd like to set out a storm, watching it like the dream it is, watching the sea come, emptying its folds of boats, watching towering palm trees fall across the backs of running cattle, watching the wind carry trees and drop them on top of the shack roofs, hearing leaves of branches whistle. I won't miss how breeze blow madness batter and beat the place up island wide, knocking things over with sea raging and raging. How island wide bugle blow of wind batter and mash up the place, break up big limb and banana leaf them in nothing but a day of windrush screaming, plundering, crying. This was after the boat had come, and there was this hope that we might get away on it. Me and my friends were we're in our early 20s, and we were just desperate to get away from Jamaica. And so that was how that poem came.